Hey everyone, welcome back. We're going to go over a quick little news. Uh, Expensify CEO sent out an email to all the customers urging them to vote for Joe Biden. So let's go through this email because I'm not a customer of theirs. I don't even know what the hell they do. But let's go ahead and read it. I think they're a finance company. But we'll go ahead and read this. I know you don't want to hear this from me, and I guarantee I don't want to say it. But we are facing an unprecedented attack on the foundations of democracy itself. If you are a U.S. citizen, anything less than a vote for Joe Biden is a vote against democracy. Look here, if they think Joe Biden really cares for democracy, they really need to read his history, and he's China's bitch boy right now. Let's be honest. That's right. I'm saying a vote for Trump, a vote for a third party candidate. We're simply not voting at all. They're all the same, and they all mean. I care about my favorite issue than democracy. I believe Trump winning more important than democracy. I'm comfortable standing aside and allowing democracy to be methodical, dismissal in plain sight. He's going after you third party person, people that just say, hey, I'm not going to vote because both bad. Let's be honest here. He's just an idiot. Trump has done more for democracy than I think any of our last three presidents. We had uh, Obama, Bush, and Clinton. Wars, wars, wars. Well, Clinton really was a war, but Bush and Obama. But all right, let's get right there. If the polls are accurate, there's a roughly 50% chance that you agree Trump needs to go. You know what to do. Show up November 3rd and vote for Biden, or even better, don't wait until then. Vote today. Go to vote.org if you need figuring out how. The rest of this email is intended to address concerns those who disagree. You know why they want you to vote now? Is because if anything damning comes out on Biden, most states will not let you recast your votes. I believe there are some that will on election day, but they don't want you to be able to recast. And the Hunter emails, once they fully come out, if there is child stuff on there, it's going to be damning because they've already implicated a bunch of Democrats. I believe there's Harris, Feinstein, and a couple others that have been. Look, those emails either way, they're bad. I mean, they essentially say Biden is bought by China. I mean, there's no, and other countries, I'm sure other countries, Burisma, UK, not UK, but Ukraine. All right, so let's read the rest of this email and get over here so I can bring you the spicy news. Why do you care so much about democracy? Democracy is core to our business success in a variety of ways. Initially, we are famously flat organized. Nobody reports to anyone else. And advancement is a result of meeting well-defined criteria and judged by a vote of those who are already advanced. How we compensate each other is left up to team vote as well. Even on an external business model depends on an individual electing to adopt and exist as individuals and campaigning initially to get adopted company-wide. At every layer, democracies are core and competitive advantages, both as a company and as a nation. But as an advantage is only as strong as its clarity of the rules and fairness of their application. Any attempt to disrupt the rules that apply to them unfairly is a direct threat to the strength of our company and the strength. I bet you one of the big criteria is how many accounts you guys get. I mean, if you guys, I believe you guys is that if you do managing budget, I guarantee you're not going to promote someone that may do all right, but if they ain't laying you big accounts, I guarantee no matter how much ass kissing in that company, and it does sound like, because it says there's campaigning internally, there's some ass kissing. That's what that says. They shouldn't. But all right, what gives you the right to tell us with the First Amendment? To be clear, you don't need to listen, but the First Amendment exists to encourage people like you and me to find some way to talk about the issues, the matters set aside to find common ground on which collectively govern 331 million. Says yes, Democrat self-rule can be inconvenient, but the burden of democracy is literally our job. So I'm asking all of us you to take. But the fact is, a lot of you that support the leveling want to change the First Amendment. So how are you going to sit there and say, oh, it's fine now when it's working for you in this email? But I guarantee you would make adjustment to you crimes like hate speech, all that crap. Yeah. But your company shouldn't remain neutral. Explicit demands a functional society and economy. Not many expense reports get filed during a civil war. So you're implying Trump wins there's a civil war and that we won't be functioning in an economy or society. The fact that the economy is probably the best it's been in my life. I'm only 31. I was born under Bush, but then I, kind of grew up as a little kid under Clinton, teenagers under Bush, and then, going an adult under Obama. and Trump, and Trump is not. You guys have been saying that line for 4 years now that the world would end if Trump got in. It's not. If anything, it's doing better. You got peace breaking out in the Middle Earth, not Middle Earth. Sorry, Lord of the Rings, but Middle East. All right, as CEO of this business, it's my job to plot a course through any storm. Let me see if I can switch the screen. Sorry about that. There we go. Bam. I'm learning. Don't kill me. But anyway, through any storm. And all evidence suggests that another 4, or as Trump has hinted, 8 or more. He's joking. And 4 or more, another Trump could run. What are you going to do about that? There's some polls, I believe, that have shown Trump Jr. But I think also, they want Tucker Carlson. But there's been some polls showing that if Trump Jr. runs, he's in. He would get in. But anyways, no, you guys, if you honestly believe he's going to do that, you guys are... This is how lunacy the left is. They honestly believe he's going to do 8 or more years. I mean, they suggest it. It will damage of Trump leadership will damage our democracy to such an extent I'm obligated on behalf of my shareholders to take action to avoid it. I am confident our and will survive at Biden. How can you if everyone's getting taxed? This is the one thing you companies will never address. What do you do when taxes are raised so high? How will you guys sit there and change? How much will charge? You guys file expense reports, right? So if expense reports go down because no one's spending money, or they're too broke to spend money, oh yeah, maybe maybe you're kissing ass so you can land a government contract. That's what it sounds like. Maybe you're kissing Biden's ass because it's if you don't get in there. All right, let's see. Yeah, honestly, I'd be pissed. And I would be pissed if I was your shareholders right now, because this is going to have people start to get away that thought you're going to be apolitical and realize you're not. Any Republican, conservative leaning, hell, even libertarian leaning is not going to stay with this company. I guarantee it. Don't you think you're exaggerating? I truly wish I was. I wouldn't be sending this email if the election was just about normal issues, taxes, legislation, private healthcare, but it is. This is about reference on what limits any we place on our elected leaders to govern us in a fair and representative way. The election will decide if widespread voter suppression is an acceptable governing tactic. Okay, 2 issues with that. You say this should be about governance and election, how we place on our leader limits. What about all the freaking senators that have been in there for over 40 years? House members, Feinstein, Skeletor, Pelosi, Schumer, Nadler, Shifty Shift. What about them? They do not see, they've been in there so long. Yeah, there's probably some Republicans, but they don't get no names, so you really don't know. It seems like most of the Republicans get into a couple years and they're done. They get tired of it. Not saying all. I'm sure there's probably some old ones. Someone can correct me that's been in, but I would love for us to compile a long list of. Maybe that's what we'll go through and compile a long list of how long some of these senators and House members have been in there. But no, and then he wants to say suppression votes. Isn't that what's been going on mainly in leftist states and areas? Is that they're getting caught? I know there's something going about, and I'm not going to say a state, but something where they're only allowing 40%. They only are matching up 40%, so real easy to forge. I may do a video on that. But let's get with this. Doesn't everyone suppress votes? Not like Trump. This is the most heavily litigated election in history, with over 300 lawsuits rushing through the courts before Election Day. And in every case, Biden's pushing to enable voters while Trump was pushing to suppress them. The trend couldn't be more clear. Biden wants to demolish Trump's law. A vote for Trump is to endorse voter suppression. It was really very basic. This isn't about party. If Biden was advocating for half the actually, then it'd be fighting against Biden too. This is bigger than politics, as usual. It's about the very fact. That's a lie. He is filing these lawsuits in response to cities, states, changing their rules right before Election Day to allow this, extending deadlines. And Biden wants that. Now, if he learns, if he's got 6 more days after the election for things to come in and he knows he's losing by 10,000, and then 10,000, 11,000 more votes just pop up, that's to me voter fraud, and it's going to happen. Because, that's what's going to happen. Now, isn't Trump trying to prevent voter fraud? Is virtually non-existent, as overwhelmingly shown by data showcased by the White House. So the data comes from the Heritage Foundation, a conservative think tank, covering every single known issue for 1948, which adds up to only 1,209 distinct points over 78 years. In 2016, There were 138 million votes. Just there's no credible voter. Yes, there is. They're catching mailmen right now. They're catching them throwing away ballots. Not ballots going out in air. Ballots going out to people. They don't want to report it on the news because it proved Trump right. You know, they can't have that. Okay, is that one? Okay, there's one page. Let's see. He's got another one. All right. Isn't Trump just okay? No, isn't Biden just doing more widespread voting to get elected? Absolutely, it's the heart of the issue. Biden believes that enabling more people to vote will help him win. Biden wins by promoting democratic trends. Wants to vote for right? No, he does. Biden wants everyone, including legals, to be able to vote. And you've got some states, New York and California, giving them a license. So how hard is that going to? An ID card? So what happens if Trump gets? Well, that's what we're going to decide on November 3rd. Do we get elected to win on merits or idea or baseless real voter suppression? See, they're already laying the foundation to revolt and not accept it by saying that, oh, he won by voter suppression. That is him. Every leftist is going to scream that if he wins, saying it's not legitimate. That's why they're afraid of ACB getting in on Monday. Confirmed, because they know that more conservatives will look at the judge more on them. You know, that's what it's going to do. And then why send me this ball? You know, this is just garbage. I would be irritated as a board member, anyone that holds any kind of shareholders in them. I'd be irritated. You know, they think this is just pandering and stoking the fear. There's already enough of that in the media. There's enough of that. Let's see what this dude looks like. Yeah, the dude looks like a social justice warrior. I mean, look at him. This dude's probably so rich that he doesn't know what it's like to be poor. Or he may grow up poor, but he forgot. He don't know what it's like to have to sit there and worry about paycheck to paycheck. How are you going to get your bills? What are you going to do to pay for your groceries? You know, some of us are middle class, but still are very poor. You know, I like to call it middle poor. We make too much to be for any kind of benefit or help. But yet we're expected to cover everything, and everything's getting expensive, and there's no help for us. But yet poor, no offense, on welfare and on food stamps are living like kings and queens. My sister, a perfect example, God bless her, when she was alive, did not work, did do nothing, but her house was stocked. Steaks, nice things. She was making quite a bit in food stamps. They paid for housing. But all right, everyone. This is just a guy from Indiana's opinion, and I'll see you next video.